Hey everybody, welcome to Options with Hans. Again, I'm Hans Albrecht, 15 years, pro options market maker, a decade managing over $1 billion in options income funds as well. I've seen a few markets in my time. So, and as always, this is for educational purposes only. Your trade, your responsibility. If you're okay with that, let's keep going and dig right in. Please like, subscribe, grab my free ebooks in the description. These are real actionable blueprints from an actual pro, right? So no fluff giveaways here. You're going to find a lot of value there. And when you do, you're going to get on my wait list. We released 25 spots yesterday for Crypto Income Trader Program. We're trading crypto options with real edge. We're finding these sort of sensible, lower risk ways to get exposure. I'm going to talk about what we're doing. A video I did a couple of weeks ago. We're going to have hedging. We're going to limit our downside. We're going to do some interesting things, which actually the options complex for crypto type names, whether it's IBIT or Ether or some of these other ones, even the miners, is actually kind of unique and plays into some strategies that actually price a lot better than what you might see on Microsoft or Nvidia or things like that, right? So it's actually kind of a very interesting option kind of complex to play. And I'm going to show you right here, and I'll tell you at the end, right now the intro rate is $597 a year. So you're going to get my free options boot camp, my Edge Finder guide. You're going to get live sessions every quarter. You're going to get newsletter updates all the time and videos. I just put out an update last night by video. Real-time trade alerts. You've got Discord. You've got commentary in the Discord. You've got a chat room for members. And of course, alerts if you want them. And alerts come by email as well. So we are making some good decisions lately and kind of a little bit scary, actually. So I'm going to tell you about, we did this trade a couple of weeks ago. I put out the video. So if some of you have seen it, that's really great. We basically talked about how things were looking good. I'm not going to go over all the fundamental reasons I like Ether, but it really looked to me like it was taking the baton from Bitcoin because this is the utility stage for crypto, right? This is that kind of chat GPT moment you may have heard somebody say out there on the news, chat GPT moment for crypto, where it goes from sort of, a decade of kind of sitting there as a sort of tin hat, kind of, against the grain, stick it to the man. This is the way we're going to sort of own something that's a little bit under the radar to something that's very much actually useful. It is a moment where just like ChatGPT is now generating this sort of incredible stage of inference and utility to the world in general. We have all these great ways that we're going to be able to use it to improve productivity and everything. This actually has a usefulness. So go back to that video. I'll point to it here or here, and you can check that out. So we don't need to go over that again, but we will look at, back then I said, listen, people are just a little bit too excited, right? So a few weeks ago, we had the Genius Act, and of course, that's very, very big news, right? So that's one of the sort of foundational reasons I think things still look good in the longer run. Stock's going to go up, stock's going to come down. This is how it goes. I traded through crazy, crazy markets, late 90s, .com, 2021, everything in between. Stocks will go up, even though you have very strong stories and narratives. You have to understand that you got to pay yourself sometimes along the way, but always have in the back of your mind that some trends are very, very strong secular trends that are going to have some legs to them. So we're going to try to trade all these things just like we do in Leaps Trader. We closed a whole bunch of positions yesterday in technology, and the timing's kind of a little bit silly. So I'll show you that in a moment, actually. So look, here are the option trades here. So people get really excited. This is one of the measures I like to use, seeing option call skew just really blow out to the upside. That's a sign that people are getting very excited. And I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, listen, we've kind of recycled back to less excitement, but still a little bit of excitement. And I said these very words. I said, there's a little bit of excitement. That gets me a bit more constructive on this again, along with the fundamentals. You guys can watch the video. I set the whole thing up for a big run. Did I know it was going to come? Well, actually, it took about a week for it to get going again. And it even pulled back a little bit. But I said, this isn't going to show me extreme excitement until it gets down to these levels again. And what happened? Well, before what happened, I suggested to sell the 270, the one for 270 here, which is the December 25 put, and pick up the 20 for a 115. That gives you a $5 spread for, what is that, about $1.55 for a $5 spread. Not bad, actually. That's not bad. So a little bit of income there, and then cycle that into some upside. So I said that the December 34s at 325 look very, very interesting. Now, I did this trade. These 324s went up to, what were they this morning? I got to take a look here. December 34 is about a 60 delta. So these were up to about $7, right? So more than double your money on those in, what is that? Less than a couple of weeks. Now, the trade that we did in Leaps Trader, as well as in Crypto Income Trader, was a little bit different. So let me show you what that looks like. So we jumped in here, April. We went for the Aprils just to give ourselves just a little extra time. I do, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, I like to give myself time to be right and maybe to be wrong for a little while before I'm right. We've seen that play over and over again in our positions this year, that we get a little bit of a pullback or things kind of sit around and simmer, but guess what you've got? You've got time on your side. So always try to give yourself time when you get the chance. There aren't very many things the market gives you, but if you can give yourself a little extra, then that's pretty good. So April, we went into the April 2026, the 35 calls we got at 505, right? So this is the kind of stuff that you get from, you get as a member. So you kind of see in here, you get all the different trades. We sold Meta at the top. We did some other trades in here. And then ETHA, we got in the 510 limit. We got in at 505. And I'm going to show you the sale. So that's these ones here, the April 35s at 505. And then yesterday, here you go. You get all, of course, you get the trades before I do them, and it's in real time. Discord alerts, you get everything. You get the chat room. So Leaps Core, we sold a whole bunch of stuff. We've been selling a little bit over the last few days, and even really the last week. And we got out of many positions. The SOC sold, the ETHA, the Nebius, the CCJ, NVIDIA. We lightened up even a little bit more. Rocket, we had an amazing run on those. A lot of positions with kind of 70, 80, 100, 130% win. So here's your ETHA, selling these at 905, right? That's what they were. Put the lower limit in for members. I got 905 for those. So in at 505, out at 905. And why? So let's talk a little bit about why. Because remember, we looked at this. There's some edge in here. Of course, the thing had a good run, and that could be a good enough reason for you. But I'm always looking for that extra little edge, little bit of edge. Remember, I said I want to see. This showed me a little bit of excitement. That's encouraging to me. I like to see a little bit of excitement expressed in that skew, but not excessive excitement. I'm going to show you excessive in a moment. This is excessive down here, right? I say people are way too excited down here. Now, let me show you what the opposite looks like. This is it right here. So you saw that last chart. It was up around here, a little bit excited. Now, what do we have? We have a whole lot of excitement. This is an exhaustion move. It doesn't mean it's going to stop going up, but we are always looking and reading the tea leaves around us, especially in the vol world. If you're trading options, you're trading sentiment, you're trading volatility, you need to understand the different signs, and those are the kinds of things you get from a pro. Not many people do this. So we've got this absolute exhaustion move, which is when we got out of this position yesterday in our Leaps explosion portfolio, along with a whole bunch of other trades. So, and we added to some like Apple, I think we added, and it's been doing very, very well. So I think, that's a whole other story. So that's kind of how we sort of operate in crypto income, in Leaps Trader. So, we've had an incredible response in these programs. I want to say it's been a great market. It's been unbelievable. In fact, I want to show you a little bit of excitement from people. This is from yesterday. Literally, it says yesterday, and this is from this morning, right? I'm not showing you things from like 10 years ago. There's this one guy, I've watched a couple of his webinars, and he's showing you trades that he did on like Disney in 2016. Like, this guy is seriously showing you stuff. He hasn't changed his presentation in like 100 years. It's pretty funny. This is from yesterday. I've followed many traders over the years. Hans stands out above the rest. His stock alerts are simply next level, precise, backed by clear insight. What impressed me, zero drawdown after opening trades. Every call I took delivered. Not going to say that always happens. It's been a good run. The results speak for themselves. Consistent accuracy have been remarkable, and risk management is just as impressive as the profits. Well, that's what I do, right? I ran Black Swan funds. I ran $800 million in income funds. I mean, I've offense and defense is very, very important. Are we always going to get it right? No, but you better be thinking about the right things in order to be prepared. Thanks to Hans, my portfolio is up 40% year to date. Another one told me his portfolio is up 65%. year to date, thanks to me. So just some really great responses from people. I'm glad people are enjoying it. Hans is the real deal, the real deal. I had somebody tell me I was magic once, and I said, no, I'm not magic. You need to be taught properly in this age of options guru grift. And so that's about it. So check out Crypto Income Trader. Check out Leaps. We've got a bundle right now for Leaps Trader, which gets you a whole bunch of cool stuff. Our summer bundle, and the more accessible price is the Crypto Income Trader. It's just not going to be as busy as the Leaps one, right? We've always got stuff going on. We say 3 minimum trades a month, but it's been like 25. Okay, so it's going to depend, but we can't overpromise. We want to keep things realistic, but so far it's been like 10 times the amount. So you get a lot of action if there's a lot of action. If there's no action, we're going to be doing more income trades, right? So right now, what I'm looking at with part of the position in crypto is I'm looking at that skew and I'm going, this is the thing that I was telling you about earlier in the video. I said, listen, this is a structure on an instrument that plays into the income trade a little bit more. So we're going to take advantage of income. And if you saw my video a few months ago, I said, when you're not getting edge from income trades, don't do them. It's simple. You're not being rewarded for that. I am being rewarded right now. It is leaning in my favor, and that's why I'm going to be doing a trade today. So jump aboard. You're going to see everything we're doing, and everyone have a great day. I'm going to try to put out a couple other videos later on today. I'm going to do one on Amazon. I'm going to do one on Rocket, Zillow. I'm going to do one on owning options long term. How you can actually win 3 different ways. 3 different ways. Nobody is telling you stuff like this. So we'll see you in the next video, and have an awesome day.